Hello students, so today's topic is direct and indirect speech. Now this topic you all are quite familiar, but again we'll be doing this, and before doing that we will understand that what is direct speech and what is indirect speech. A direct speech is somebody where a speaker speaks, right, and it is always presented in inverted commas. And indirect speech is where the speaker's words are changed into your own words to tell it to somebody else, and obviously there will be no inverted commas, right? So direct speech is where the speaker is speaking directly to someone, and indirect, what happens when a third person is going to change the speaker's words into his own words to tell it to somebody else again. That is called indirect speech. So to make things very easy, direct speech is always in inverted commas. Indirect speech, there will be no inverted commas. Clear? So that's how you're going to identify your direct and indirect speech. Before doing direct and indirect speech, there are things that you have to remember and you have to follow. You have to learn certain terms in relation to direct and indirect speech. That is, whenever you see a sentence, you have to see that who is the speaker and who is the listener in that speech, the reporting verb and the reporting speech, right? So who is the speaker and the listener, the reporting verb and the reported speech. For example, if you see this sentence, the girl said, comma, open inverted comma, I read in the morning, full stop, close inverted comma. So first you have to identify whether this sentence is in direct speech or indirect speech. It's in direct speech because inverted commas are there, right? Now the girl here, the girl is my speaker, right? The subject, the girl. Said is here is my reporting verb. This is called reporting verb. So if it's said, if it's here say or says or told or whatever or asked, they are all reporting verb. And these things in the inverted commas is my reported speech. So you are clear that what is reported verb and reporting speech. This is my reporting verb and this is my reported speech. Now there are certain rules which you need to remember, as we have rules in grammar lessons. So for direct and indirect speech, 5 steps are there, or 5 things that you have to remember, that they are essential for changing it in indirect speech. So when you will have to change this in your question, you will obviously have to change direct into indirect or indirect to direct. So for these changes, you have to know the basic 5 steps of how to change it. So first step is change of the reporting verb. Second, replacement by using that. Third, change of the pronouns. Fourth, change of tenses. And fifth is change of time specific words. All these 5 steps we will do it slowly with examples, and things will be easy. So the first, we will see the change of the reporting verb. Now we are clear that which one is reporting verb in a sentence. This set here is the reporting verb. Now, for example, if in direct speech your reporting verb is says, S-A-Y-S, in indirect speech, when we will change it, we will not change says, we will keep it as says, right? So write it down, these rules are very important. You cannot go wrong in these things, right? Because grammar, the sentences, whatever changing transformation you are doing, you cannot go wrong with these, otherwise you are not getting the full marks. So if reporting verb in direct speech is says, then in indirect speech it remains says. If your reporting verb in direct speech is said, that said again, there will be no change in indirect speech, it will remain as said. If in direct speech it is written said to, right, said to me or said to anybody. If it is written said to, this said to will be changed into told in indirect speech. And if it is say to or says to in direct speech, then it will be changed into tell or tells in indirect speech. So keep remember this, don't forget, don't make mistake regarding this. So if your reporting verb in direct speech is says, in indirect speech it remains as says, said remains said, said to will change into told, say to, says to will remain as tell and tells. So this is the first step we have learned regarding direct indirect speech, where the reporting verb changes. How and where we have just discussed, right? Second step is replacement with that. Now this is very easy, as I have told you. Whenever direct speech is in inverted commas, in indirect speech we will not put any inverted commas. There will be no inverted commas. So in replacement of inverted commas, you will use that. So direct speech has inverted commas, in indirect speech no inverted commas. Instead of commas, you write that. So second step also clear. Now there is change of pronouns. This is very important. This is where most of the students make mistake. Now regarding change of pronouns, get these few things clear. Now you need to write this down: first person, second person, third person. So always remember, whenever your reported speech starts with the first person, that is use of I and we, right? Use of I and we. You will not write I and we in indirect speech when you are changing. What you will write, that will be according to the subject, that pronoun will be changed, right? So if your first person in the reported speech is an I or we, in indirect speech you will not change that, or you will not keep it as I or we, but you will change it according to the subject. Again, if the second person, if your reported speech is in second person, which is called second person, you, yours and all, if you is there, that is second person is there in direct speech, that in indirect speech you will change it or refer according to the object, and you will change it. Clear? And if there is third person, that is he, she, it, there will be no change. Keep it as, if he is there in direct speech, keep it as he in indirect speech. If she is there in direct speech, keep it as she in indirect speech. This we will be clear when we will see the examples. So if, let's take this example: the girl said, I read in the morning. Who is the speaker and the subject here? The girl said. Reported speech is starting with I. That means this is in first person. And as I have told you, when there is first person, always refer to the subject. So immediately you will be confused that okay, immediately you will be confused that what I am going to write in indirect, speech. So if I is there, that is my first person, so you will be confused that what am I going to write in indirect speech, whether it will be I or what. So there will be no confusion, because whenever you will see first person in your reported speech, that is use of I or we, immediately you see who is the subject. It's a girl, so obviously it is talking about this girl. So the girl is there, so since it's a girl, I'm going to write she. So the girl said that she read in the morning. If it would have been boy, then you would have written he. Because why? Because my reported speech is starting with the first person, that is I or we. Hence I'm going to refer to the subject and not to the object. Object, when it comes, for example, said to me and all. So that is where the object comes. That we will do when we will see a sentence with you later. So first we are going to deal with this first person thing. So if your reported speech starts with the first person, that is I, see your subject, and according to the subject you change it in indirect speech, that is she. So your pronoun will be according to the subject. The girl said that she read in the morning. So change of the pronoun: first person, see the subject; second person, see the object; third person, do not have to refer anything. There will be no change. Keep it as that. So this is what change of pronoun. Now we are coming to the fourth step, that is change of tense. You cannot do direct and indirect speech without understanding the basic tense. Now you see, you write it down like this: all your present tense will change into past tense. So for example, if your direct speech is in simple present tense, right, if your direct speech is in simple present tense, will you change it and keep your indirect speech in present simple tense? No, you will change it into simple past tense. So the form will remain the same, only the tense will change. So it will remain simple, but present will become past. Similarly, present continuous tense changes into past continuous tense. It will remain continuous, but present will become past. Present perfect tense will change it into past perfect tense. And then fourth one, present perfect continuous tense will change into past perfect continuous tense. So all the forms remain the same, but tense, there's a change in the tense. So all present form changes into past tense. So keep this in remember. If you see present, remember your tense will become past and your form will remain the same. So if it's simple present, it will remain simple past. If it's present continuous, it will become past continuous. If it's present perfect, then it will become past perfect. And if it's present perfect continuous tense, then it will become past perfect continuous tense. So this is related to the present tense. Now what will happen if your direct speech is in simple past tense? Whenever it's simple past tense, remember, simple past changes into past perfect. Okay, you need to write all these things in your notebook. So simple past changes into past perfect, past continuous changes into past perfect continuous tense. So simple past tense changes into past perfect, past continuous, past perfect continuous tense. If you have a past perfect, no change, it will remain as past perfect. And if there's a future tense, then will becomes would, shall becomes should, and then can becomes could, and may becomes might, right? Will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might. So this is a tense change which is very very important in direct and indirect speech. So write all these things down, it's very very important. So first we will see simple present tense. So what will happen if your reported speech in simple present tense? You're clear that my indirect speech will be in simple past tense. So let's take this example. The girl said, comma, open inverted comma, I read in the morning. Now I have to change it. This is direct speech. I have to change this into indirect speech. So what it will be? The girl remains the girl. No change. Reporting verb, said is there. As I told you, if said is there, keep it as said. You don't have to change. If it would have been said to, then you would have written told. But said is there, so you keep it as said. Comma, open inverted comma, replace with that. Always in indirect speech. Now comes the tricky part, that is I. Now I is your first person. So immediately you see your subject. Who is the subject? The girl. So obviously my pronoun will be she. The girl said that. She don't have to write I here or anything else, but it will be she. Always look to the subject. So that she. Now read, first form of the verb, hence it makes present tense. Read will change into read, second form of the verb. Spelling is same, but there's a pronunciation change, so that she read in the morning. So it becomes simple past tense. Second example, they said, comma, open inverted comma, we play football, close inverted comma. They, you write they is your subject. Said, again said remains that, comma, open inverted comma, replace it with that. They said that we. Now we is again first person. See your subject, which is talking about they. So your subject and your pronoun will be they and no he or she. So they said that they, play is the first form, So in past tense you have to change it. Second form of the verb, that is played. They said that they played football. Clear? So this is how your simple present tense changes into simple past tense. Now also in simple present tense, as I have told you, that it changes into past tense, but there is exceptional. Whenever you will see universal truth, fact, or habitual action, don't change it into past tense, simple past tense. It will remain as simple present tense because it is universal truth and fact. You cannot change it into past tense. It will remain there and there will be no change. For example, the teacher said, comma, open inverted comma, the sun rises in the east. So what you will write in indirect speech? The teacher remains there, said remains there, that changes with comma. The sun rises in the east remains, the sun rises in the east. Clear? So present tense it remains, if you will not change it into past tense because this is the universal truth. Next is the teacher said, comma, open inverted comma, honesty is the best policy. Again, this is universal fact. So you will not change your simple present tense into simple past tense. It will remain as simple present tense. The teacher said that honesty is the best policy. Right? So simple present tense changes into simple past tense, but there is exceptional case. In this case, that is universal truth and fact. Now next is if your reported verb, remember all these things are reported verb. If your reported verb is in says, for example, if you get this sentence, he says, comma, open inverted comma, I am ill. So automatically you will see that your reported speech is in present tense. So I have to change it into simple past tense. No, you will not change it into simple past tense. You will again keep it as simple present tense. He says, comma, open inverted comma, I am ill, full stop, close inverted comma. So he remains there. Says, you change it, you keep it as says. You don't have to change it into anything else. Only if it would have been say to or says to, then you would have written tell or tells. So says is there. Then comma and open inverted comma is replaced with that. I am ill. So I here is the first person. See your subject. It's talking about he. So immediately your pronoun will be here he. So he says that he is ill. You will keep it as simple present tense because here it is simple present only. No need to change the tense if your reported verb is in says. So here there are few exceptional. Then we are coming to fifth step of this change. Right, we have done reporting verb, replace, change of pronoun, tense. Now we are coming to change of time specific orders. For example, if you see your sentence like this, my friend said, comma, open inverted comma, he wants to come now. My friend will write as my friend, said remains said, comma, open inverted comma, change into that, he. Now you see, as I've told you, if your reported speech is in third person, that is he, she, it, then you don't have to see any subject or object. Put that he here in indirect speech. You don't have to look anywhere. There will be no change. Keep it as he. So my friend said that he wants is here is a present tense. So you change it into past tense, that is wanted. So this is the fifth form of the verb. You are changing it to the second form of the verb. That is, my friend said that he wanted to come then. Now if you see, now changes into then. This, for in this case you have to write down all these time, that is all these